All right, we are privileged to have some members from the early 80s of Jefferson football. Um, Really cool to have a nice crew together here, former teammates. I'll have go kind of left to right here to introduce yourself and your class and maybe even your position as well. So maybe we'll just start with quick introductions and we'll go from there.
All right, Ross Morrison, class of 81, tight end and defensive end.
Very nice. uh, Jim Becker, and I was a defensive back, and I kicked as well.
Very good. My name is Rick Ebner, and I was a running back, and I guess little linebacker as well too.
Fred Peller, I was class of 81 as well. I played free safety.
And my name is John Brecount. My nickname was Bubba. And there was a cartoon once that said every team needed to have one Bubba, and I was it. And I was class of 80, and I played defensive tackle.
Yes, we had at least one Bubba, pretty much. So to kick things off, let's start kind of by going back. If you picture yourself growing up in Bloomington as a young guy or getting started in football, talk a little about your youth football experience and then also maybe how you started to think about Jefferson football as a young guy and what kind of got you excited to move on up the ranks and eventually play for the Jaguars.
That's a great
Well,
question.
I can start off, and it all started with Greg Peller's father in BA football. His father was our football coach all through elementary into junior high, and back then, he would figure out the plays on his hand or in the dirt. And it was back then smoking was good, so what's that about his eyes. And he always
Allowed.
had one lip, and now that big ass would get really long. But it was things that you could remember. It was classic. And then we went on to seventh, eighth grade Olson football, and Jefferson was only 5, 6 years old, and the band was playing when we'd be practicing over at Olson, and 300 students in the band, and they traveled across, I think, the whole United States. And then you had the high school football program that had these big names like the Wynnum brothers, the Sarf brothers, the Rude brothers. I mean, it was exciting times, and our goals, I think, was playing at Lincoln Stadium under the lights, and hearing all that commotion going on, and the school being so young. Yeah, we were pretty excited about the whole thing.
Yeah, there were some great teams, and going to that stadium, and it was packed, and when you're 10 years old and you're looking at them like they're pro athletes, and yeah, it was amazing. I grew up playing soccer and hockey until I met these knuckleheads in junior high. I'll still call it junior high, and started playing football with them just because I wanted to be around them more, and started playing in ninth grade. But I think some of my best sporting memories are from and some of my closest friends still are the guys I played football with here at Jefferson.
I think one memory, though, coming out of, they had great teams in the early 70s or mid 70s, and then it started to drop off, and the 2 grades before, they only won 1 game the whole year. So I remember Bruno Waldner coming to our junior high gym and trying to recruit the ninth graders up to play football. So in 10th grade, our team was only 26 players. For a pretty good sized class. We were like a 530 or 540 person class, and only 26 of us played football. So a lot of us played both ways every game because all we had. Yeah, and then started to rise up again. I think we had a good year. We had a good junior year, a really good senior year. I'm not sure what happened after that, but
For me, like Rick said, my dad coached, and I had older brothers. So I grew up, even a little kid being around BA football. I can remember going over to Lincoln Stadium and watching Jefferson play. We didn't have ESPN, all cable TV back then. So it was, the Gophers, high school, and the Vikings. So we looked up to those guys that were playing ahead of us. So,
And we were family friends with the Thompsons, and Jeff Thompson was a monster of a running back, about 3 classes in front of me. And I mean, he was like a legend because he went on to play for the Gophers, and he probably dated the cutest girl at Jefferson. So everybody wanted to be a Jeff Thompson lookalike, you know. But it was, I think playing football under the lights at Lincoln Stadium was one of the coolest things. And I had the privilege of watching my son play there when he was playing for Eden Prairie, and it just looked so small. But when I played there, it was huge. It was just so big.
Very cool. So definitely interesting story about Coach Waldner recruiting the young players. Do you guys remember that, or do you remember more details about that?
I remember him
Story?
coming.
That was cool.
Yeah, our 9th grade coach is Norm Prinz, and I remember Bruno coming over and meeting with us after. I can't remember if it was after practice or after a game, but again, this larger than life human being. Yeah, and just really encouraging us to come over. I mean, just to be a part of it. And like Ross said, we had a really good sophomore year. I don't think we lost a game our sophomore year with those 26 guys. Our first game there, we showed up against Burnsville. We were still on the bus, and Burnsville sophomores kept running by in waves, and there was literally like
100 guys suited up.
100 guys
Yeah, they had
for their sophomore.
double numbers.
It was our first game, and we were kind of deer in the headlights, and we ended up beating them and
Oh, we
hopping
had-
back on the bus.
We had John Bianchi and Jake Lynch as our coach.
Oh, right,
And it couldn't have been more fun.
right.
That year was fantastic. But yeah, I'll never forget that game as well, too. And so motivating. It was great.
Those two guys together. You remember Bianx?
Totally. I got to know both of those guys in the mid-late 90s. But so you guys had 26, they had 100 or more, and you remember
Yeah.
you beat them.
Oh, just a constant clack of cleats going by our bus. We didn't get out of the bus yet, so it just went on for about a half an hour.
I'll never forget, after the last one went by, Bianchi stood up and said, "Let's go out there and kick the out of these guys." And we got so, and we were pumped up. And we went out there during calisthenics, and we're yelling as loud as we could, and they were just their voices. I think we got tired after that. But we beat them.
Yeah, that's funny.
Beat them. It was,
And that was the worst field to play on because it was curved.
Oh, yeah.
So you're standing in the end zone and you could see like half their bodies in their end zone. It was rigged.
It was rigged. Uphill.
Yeah.
Both ways.